How you doing, gardeners? Ed Snyder with Fresh Picked Acres. Today's video is talking about weed control and Delia and I's lack of being able to do that, to have any real serious weed control. For each year, Delia and I spend our time in the early parts of the year, and we keep a pretty good looking farm. The hoeing's kept up, the weeds are kept up, until all of a sudden we start getting into harvesting. As we do more harvesting and more marketing, the next thing you know, we don't have time to come back and re-hoe and re-pull weeds from areas that we've done before. Now, that's our big problem. Now, we hit this perfect storm this year when we got these bare root strawberry plants. In the heat of harvesting sweet corn, Delia and I had time to get the plants in. Everything's fine. We're watering, but we don't have time to go back and be pulling weeds and sell and market and all of that. So to our embarrassment, to my embarrassment, you're going to see where the palm amaranth, water hemp, pigweed got away. And this is not a one-year issue. This has been a multi-year issue. I can't tell you, and cocklebur has also been a real, excuse the pun, thorn in our side. And so what I realize is I do not have the time. I do not have the fiscal capabilities of paying a person, and we do not receive enough income also from a plant. Some of you may be in a rich area, and maybe you're getting paid $30 a pound for lettuce, things like that. Well, we don't have that ability here. Let's move on. Besides that, fiscally responsible farmers, people would say you got to do something else, and that's what we are doing. We are moving and graduating ourselves up to another level of trying to manage against water hemp, palm amaranth, pigweed, cocklebur, quite a few numerous grasses, crabgrass, nutsedge, and that type of thing, foxtails, that have occurred once we start harvesting, and we can't continue to fight them because we're just too darn tired and busy. So what we're going to be doing, we're going to see the video, going to see how it started out, our frustration, the work we did, and the results of what we did. We're very happy with it. In the future, on watermelon, cantaloupe, pumpkins, in between any of our plastic rows, such as where our onions are going to be, and our garlic and our squash, we're going to be using woven fabric in those zones there, because the water will still drain through the plastic there, and we can continue to kill weeds underneath. It's something there that Delia and I have been fighting since we've had this farm, and each year our own management has created a bigger problem. Now, I know for a fact, driving through the country, I'm not the only one facing this issue. There's drawbacks to doing what we're doing, but this is the plus for us, with two people over the age of 62, that we can actually get in there, lay things out, plant our plants, lay down the woven fabric, and try to stop the darn weeds from coming into our farm. And thus, we can focus strictly on harvesting and marketing the way we would like. Potatoes, green beans, sweet corn, that will always still be dealt with, but those are shorter crops. There are different types of crops like that. When the land is not in use, next year we'll go ahead and put out some silage tarp to prevent weeds from coming up. Once we have our fertilizer mixed into the soil and everything, we'll go ahead and put that silage tarp out, preventing weeds from coming up. So when we do plant the green beans and that type of thing, it'll hopefully kill the weed seeds in that top 2 inches, giving us good clean crops throughout the growing year. And once we do harvest, we'll turn right around and get that silage tarp back on top if weeds do become a problem. We have about 4 to 5 years of hard work, Delia and I do. But I think economically we're better off spending money in this manner, no matter what you do, whether you pay for labor or whether you pay for herbicide or do whatever the case is, one way or the other, there's going to be a price being paid, or you will have no sleep whatsoever, working all day and then weeding all night, because these are the choices you got, and obviously that last option is not a reality. So stay with us, enjoy the film, look at our frustration, make fun of us, laugh at us, whatever, but one way or the other, we're going to show you how we deal with the palm amaranth water hemp on our farm. Maybe this is something that will appeal to you and help you on your farm, because I know we're not the only ones fighting this voracious weeds that have just pretty much overtaken our small little farm. We're going to get it, though. Like always, like and subscribe, folks. We're out here at the strawberries, and as fast as we got the berries planted, so did the palm amaranth and water hemp grow. And I'm currently right now, I'm kind of weeding along the edge here, mowing it down, and we have a lot of work to do. We do have strawberries coming on from, remember, these are bare root, but you know, we got to manage them and do a better job than what we're doing right now. So, and we have a lot of gaps that we don't even know about. So there's some things there we need to focus on here before we lose everything. So, and we have a lot down here, so we're going to be working awfully hard doing it. The DR trimmer is mowing a lot of these cockleburs and stuff down, and well, you know, it's just a lot for Delia and I to take care of. We're going to be going in the ways of ground claws and meaning silage. We're going to use a lot more woven fabric between rows in the future. We've already decided that we're going to be using a lot more silage tarps to go ahead and cover the ground. Too much work is having to go back and redo things after they've already been done, because this is, you know, our very best efforts is just putting us behind. As fast as we get a project done, we're overwhelmed again by a project that, you know, we should be completing. Here's the watermelon now, and again, that was totally canopied over, and the water hemp continued to go. So we're going to be putting some ground cloth in between the rows next year. This is really a disaster right now, but we'll get in here, get a tractor in here, get all this mowed down, and kill it all off. And but isn't that terrible? That's that water hemp and palm amaranth, and look at the 250,000 seeds per plant, and it gets overwhelming. And that's why we thought, I mean, we got a crop out of it. We harvested a lot of melons out of here, a lot of melons, but we can do better. And we made a lot of money this year per, you know, for whatever that's worth as far as what we got. But I mean, we left a lot of opportunity in the field that we just can't find. I mean, let alone the deer in there. I mean, here's some young cantaloupe and stuff, but deer are in here munching on it. The raccoons are munching on it, but we don't have time to deal with raccoons and stuff. We're too busy just trying to find melons in all this mess. So talking with a nice gentleman in our farmers market deal, we're going to be going with some more woven fabric. It's heavy duty. It'll last us for many years, and we'll see if we can't get rid of a lot of this weed pressure. I don't know how many of you have done it. You know, I did use some in between here. I did use some recommended herbicide in between the rows, but water hemp is just a tough one. It's a very tough one. Now next year this area will be in sweet corn. I can control a lot of that a lot better in sweet corn than I can in this environment. But there is only one way for me to do it in the future here, and is we gotta get it under control, because every year this gets worse. It just gets worse, and it's gone on to it's gotten out of hand. So as much as we've done well, we have this as the cross we have to bear. So all right, well, there we go. I'm gonna go ahead and switch it over. I went through a couple of blades here on the DR trimmer, a couple of these, so let me go ahead and replace some of the string here. Let's get that done. So Brent and I spent a lot of time out here at the strawberries, and we have cleared off a lot of this palm amaranth, cleared off a lot of this water hemp. We can see where we had successes out here. We can see where we got failures out here, good and bad, disheartening and enlightening all at the same time. But what Delia and I have decided, I can't stay ahead of this water hemp. The water hemp started growing as soon as I mean, literally the very next day we had water hemp coming up through the ground. This is our solution. I don't know what else we can do, folks. So we're gonna go ahead and, I just can't keep coming out here. And even, I wanted to get I wanted to put some ryegrass on it, but the water hemp came right back up, and I just think it's futile to try to even seed the ryegrass in this location, because I'm gonna have water hemp coming right through along with it, not giving the ryegrass a chance to choke it out. So Delia and I went ahead. We're paying the price, ain't we, Delia?
Yep.
Paying the price. But how much is this? How much is a roll?
57.
So we got a 300 foot by 400 foot woven plastic for $57. And how long is it going to last, you hope?
It says 10 years.
Says 10 years. So I know you don't want to leave this out. So Delia and I will have to roll this up again. We're not going to leave it out the whole winter or whatever. But we do want to go ahead and kill the grass and the stuff that's there. If we can get everything killed back and everything, maybe there's a shot we come back next spring, add some ryegrass. We'd like to go 2 years at this bed. We'll talk about it. We'll look at it and see where we're at. But now anyway, that's what we're doing. So we went ahead and invested. Chemicals, that costs money. Pulling weeds and that type of thing. Well, guess what? That costs money. There's not a really good answer for it. So in our case, we're going to try to inhibit the weeds. That's our answer. So we're going ahead and we have excess. These are 300 foot rolls. So we're actually putting it underneath of our deer fence. And Delia, as a quilter, she's good at these old, without cutting it. Look at this, how she made this into a 90 degrees. So we'll do that. I'm gonna go ahead here, and I got a strap around my roll here, and I'm just gonna pick it up and carry it down. That's my game plan anyway. So, and the wind is out of the south, so hopefully it's gonna be pretty forgiving to me. Now we're ready to get going the right way, ain't we? Yep, this one ain't gonna cover the whole thing. Yep, there you go. And then I'll go down and get you some more.
Where's the wind coming from?
Well, it's southeast right now. We're bringing it down on this end, underneath that water line, underneath that thing, you know, trying to prevent some weeds there. And I'll leave them. They're not hurting nothing. But anyway, so 2 rows right there. We're hoping that, by gosh, the heat coming off of, and see, these are 300-foot rows. Well, instead of cutting the woven fabric, we're just doubling it over. I'm a little wider on that end, beside the point. But we're doubling it over for now. Yeah, we could use it. The next time I go to use this, that row over there is a 350 foot. So that field. So by cutting it, I'm just killing myself. You know, now all of a sudden we're just rather buy a whole new roll. We'll double it up when we need to. When we don't need to, we'll just stretch the whole thing out. That's what I'm saying. I think it's just cheaper in the long run. And be easier to manage. I heard a lot of guys talk about they have their 50-foot rows, consistently 50-foot rows, so this way they can manage it. They don't have to have odd size stuff and like that. So that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to manage that. And what we did on this end, and I think I already showed it to you, but nonetheless, here you go. So we knew we had this excess, so we went ahead and brought it down. Delia did this nice. Now, we talked about that already, but anyway, trying to capture a little more weed protection down here. We'll tie these 2 together now, and we'll do 1 more row, and then it's off to cheese football. That's what's next. Okay, folks, I just finished looking at some of the video footage of the farm and realized I didn't give you guys a completed version of what did the strawberry patch look like after we got the weeds out, after we laid out the woven fabric. Well, this is how it all turned out in the end. You see that we got some fabric over here on the ends. We did the same thing on the other end of our farm down there. At one of the beginning parts of the film, this was our cantaloupe watermelon over here, and when we began this video, you've seen how bad the water hit was at this location. Well, now look at it. It's you know, much improved. It has a fighting chance. It has a fighting chance to survive. I think inside the house, I'll have already told you. I'm going to get in there and I'll already have told you what I think our management plan is. But Delia and I are very happy with the end result of how this turned out. It's been a month since we laid it out. Although we're not perfect, but a lot of the bare root plants have come up and have greened up a little bit. They're still fighting because it's not ideal times with the cool evenings and warm days, but you know, they are there. They are there, and they just couldn't compete with all of the weed pressure that we had. We had a disaster. Now it looks much better. And anyway, I just wanted to show you kind of what it looked like. Hopefully it's a windy day. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and like always, go and hit that like button and subscribe. Come grow with us.